Hold my beer while I do this. It's the Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast. A Medicare podcast that sometimes wears a fake mustache. His godfather in Oklahoma fixed the knees of Gail Sayers, Medicare expert Doug Jones.
Hey, it is the Medicare for the Lazy Man podcast, brought to lazy men and lazy ladies everywhere by me. I'm your Medicare expert, as Drew McMillan just said. I'm Doug Jones, and I'll be here for as long as anybody wants me. It could be a long time, or it might be a real short career. I don't know which. But anyway, you just heard from my Canadian nephew, Drew McMillan, proud father of, I forget her name. I haven't had to say it in so long. But anyway, his cute little daughter was born, I think, last week, a week and a half ago. And so Randy is in charge of ordering baby-sized headphones, because we're going to start her career off early. We're going to see if we can't get her to do some voiceover work for us. Drew does fantastic work. You just heard a sample of what he does. And frankly, he has never invoiced us for any of his work. So little Nora McMillan of Barrie, Ontario, Canada, we hope will follow the same path as she gets more and more professional with her baby-sized headset that has been ordered for her. Then she will fit right into the typical McMillan mold of doing our voiceover work without ever billing us for it. And that's kind of the way I like it. So in any event, we're here to help people understand what they have to do to transition from normal life to Medicare life. When people talk about the lazy man, that the Medicare for the Lazy Man is all about, that lazy man is a man or woman who really does not want to become a Medicare expert. So we are here so that they don't have to. And if they ask me what they need to do and tell me something about their situation and fill out a couple of pages of questionnaire, mostly stuff they know off the top of their heads, I can tell them exactly what it would cost them to protect themselves against the future horrible medical expenses that could bankrupt them. And they can do that with very little out-of-pocket cost. And in fact, by the time we finish sending a few forms back and forth, collecting a couple of signatures, sending some applications into an insurance company, bing, bang, boom, the whole job is done. People wind up taking a deep breath and saying, is that all there was to it? What was I afraid of? At least that's what I think my clients say anyway. So I'm always open for additional listeners to approach me. Yeah, there's one now. Boy, the timing couldn't have been worse, because I'm busy. My podcast audience is priority number one. And so as soon as this stops, I have a person I put on the payroll specifically to make sure this doesn't happen. And frankly, that person's going to get a severe talking to later on, chastise. But anyway, so we're hopefully back under control of our technology. So the whole thing is, I wrote a book, Medicare for the Lazy Man, Simplest and Easiest Guide Ever. Look for the 2021 version on Amazon. You can look for it on Barnes & Noble, but for some reason, people just go to Amazon. And that will be your guide, your entree into the world of Medicare. Or skip the book and just send me an email at dbj@mlmmailbag.com. And that address came to you courtesy of Randy Carson, my dial twister par excellence. Hello, Randy. What's new with you?
I hate to tell you this, Doug.
Yeah.
Got some bad news.
I hate bad news. Can we just hang up and maybe start again next time?
No, we're gonna have to keep soldiering forward, as they say in Britain.
Boy, oh boy. Well, lay it on me.
Here it is. I had to cancel the order.
Oh my God.
For
Is Nora fired before she even gets started?
No. I made a mistake when I first ordered Nora's headset. I found the infant headset, but they were just, universal gray.
Right. Which is a nice color. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it worked. But, over the weekend, actually Friday, there's another little announcer has arrived in the world. Didn't
we say that the future announcers all had to be blood relatives?
Yes, they are.
Uh-oh.
They are.
So there's somebody I didn't know about, huh?
Yeah, there's a new little announcer now in town, and his name is Asher Carson Stein.
Oh my God. Where did he come from? He's stealing Nora's thunder.
He was, as we used to say back in the Midwest, he was bornicated on Friday afternoon. He arrived somewhat early, as in 12 days. That's not a huge amount, but he did arrive, and I've got to tell you, he's a good-looking little boy.
Well, I would expect nothing less, having met you and Margaret many times. Well, now here's what the ladies in the audience will be asking. Height and weight. Height,
20.5.
Okay,
Weight, 7 pounds, 1 ounce.
All right. Now, my next thing is, what's going to happen to Nora's headset? What are you going to do about that?
Well, I've got it all figured out.
Okay, later.
Now I have 2 sets on order. They're both equally as technically capable, except one is pink for Nora.
Ooh.
And one is blue for Asher.
Is that politically correct in these trying times? Is that
probably not, but I don't care.
Well, in that case, I will join you in fighting off the cancel culture if they come after us.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Well, bottom line is Nora, as you know, is a little cutie. She'll look good in pink.
Sure.
And Asher's a good-looking boy, so he'll look good in blue.
Well, listen, congratulations to you and Margaret, and to your daughter, Brianna. And I just don't know how these things happen. It was just a short time ago that they were adopting, wasn't it?
Yep. And well, I do know how this happened because they've been working from home.
Oh, okay.
There's something about working from home. I don't know.
Say no more. Nudge, nudge,
I know.
wink, wink.
I know. It's just one of those things. But anyway, I'm a pretty happy grandfather. Haven't got to see him in person yet because the grandmothers are pretty much eating up all the time over there. So I'm going to have to sneak in there one afternoon.
He's going to have to sneak out, I think. Those grandmothers can be formidable.
Yes. I tell you, they don't call grandmothers and mothers mother bears for nothing.
Right. Absolutely. Well, congratulations. That's a wonderful piece of news, which we didn't really get until the end of the weekend. I'm blowing our cover here, but it was great to hear that everything went so well, and it's all the grandmothers are in control now.
Well, the grandmothers are definitely in control now. I'm just hoping to sneak a look one of these days.
Understood. Well, now that we've exchanged the good news, we ought to get after it. What do you think?
We really do need to get after it. So I'm thinking, I need to pull out the old Medicare hammer and say, Doug, let's get after it.
All righty. Well, I have 2 stacks of papers here. I've got one on the left and one on the right, and I don't know which one I should be going after. So why don't you pick one, left or right, and I will just work on that pile.
I want the yellow pile.
Okay, that had a yellow piece of paper on top of it. I'm removing the yellow piece of paper, but I'm going to save it for the next time we have to do this arduous task. And ironically, now this is hard to believe, what you've chosen is the MLM mailbag pile. So,
cool.
In addition to having some quality content, you are also going to be providing excellent listening for the patrons at the local bars.
Yes. I haven't, I haven't been able, I've been safe, but just barely so. We go up to the chip and they're always sneering at me going, I haven't heard any mailbag. Come on, buddy. Hop up to the, step up to
Yep,
the mailbag plate.
Well, this will cure that. It'll allow you to go in there and at least be left alone for a while. So,
Yes.
It's not a huge pile, so it's not going to last forever, but the effect will be there for a while, I guess.
Because
So-
given the fact that we both have new little announcers in our family,
Uh-huh.
since you and I don't smoke anymore, we're going to have to find something to honor their arrival.
Well, absolutely. And frankly, I'm going to leave that up to you because I'm busy enough just getting mail. I swear the listener and reader activity has really taken a couple of steps up. And I have had more correspondence with people who want to know what to do about Medicare in the last couple of weeks than I have in my whole career. So it's been very rewarding that all this plugging away we've done is finally paying dividends.
So you're basically like a one-armed paper hanger.
So far it's working out that way, but the whole point is I'm helping a lot of people. I'm getting a lot of people thanking me, and it's turning into a very I don't want to say I'm a hero, but I do want to say that I'm helping people deal with a complex situation that they're all kind of afraid of. So I'd like to think I'm doing some good for humanity. And with that, speaking of doing good for humanity, one of my grandchildren is graduating from college in a couple of weeks at Northern Arizona University. So you may find that you're going to be doing a podcast episode by yourself while we're up there sitting in a hotel room watching an online graduation ceremony, which seems kind of silly to me.
Oh my God, that does seem a bit silly, but
yeah, it really does. Fortunately, there's a bar in the hotel, and I think we'll be spending our time there.
Well, then, okay, I understand that it's all better now, but
yeah, absolutely. All righty. So first item out of the mailbag is somebody named Ragu. Now that is my favorite spaghetti sauce. When I have spaghetti at home, it's always Ragu spaghetti sauce. And of course, the spousal unit laughs at me for enjoying her spaghetti with the Ragu sauce on it. Anyway, this person says, "Hi, Doug. Thanks for your prompt reply." I don't know what the heck I was replying to because the first half of this letter is not here. But he said, and this is March 25th, he said, "Thanks for your prompt reply. I have written a 5-star review for your book on Amazon." Then he says, I have a few more questions. Question number 1, if I enroll in Part A now, and he's apparently still working, will it conflict with my current health insurance? If I need hospitalization, who will pay? Medicare or my current insurance through the employer? Do I have to inform the insurance that I now have Medicare Part A? Isn't it better to wait until retirement? I mean, 3 months before retirement, is what he really meant to say, to enroll in Part A so that there's no confusion. Question number 2. Now that was like 5 questions, but he numbered them all together. So that was all number 1. Question number 2, if I buy high deductible plan F when I retire, and after a year, I decide to switch to another supplement plan or another company, do I have to answer health questions? And will my premium be based on my health condition at that time? Thanks again, Ragu. So I said, thanks very much for the review. I really appreciate it. See, I may slug them with a baseball bat to get that review out of them, but when they do it, I'm always very humble and very appreciative. And if you go look at the book listing on Amazon, you're going to see these written reviews. The 2021 book is fairly new, so there aren't as many as there are for the 2020 book, which is considerably older. It has like 280 5-star reviews. Anyway, there won't be any interference between Part A and your employer's insurance plan as long as you do not have an HSA allowing for tax-deductible deposits. If your employer has 20 employees or more, the employer plan would pay a claim first, and the Medicare coverage would be secondary. If the employer has fewer than 20 employees, the Medicare coverage would be primary. You don't have to report anything to your employer's medical plan unless they ask you. But you would provide your Medicare ID card to the medical staff who would be responsible for billing. You can wait until 3 months before your retirement date, but you can also enroll anytime before then if you wish. Here's the answer to question number 2. There won't be an option to change Medicare supplement carriers or plans without answering health questions if more than 6 months pass from your original purchase. In theory, a company can charge extra for a negative medical history, but my most common observation is either accept or reject. Thanks again for your customer review. Let me know how else I can help. So that was from Ragu. And let's see, who else do we have here? We have a person named Gary. And Gary asks, hi, I'm soon turning 65. I'm semi-retired, working part-time at a library with no medical benefits. My medical benefits are provided by my wife's employer. She works at a college with over 20 employees. We're enrolled. It'd be pretty sad college if it didn't have 20 employees. We are enrolled in a group health plan with an HSA. She does not plan to retire for a couple of years. Thus, the health coverage will continue. I will not yet sign up for Medicare Part B. My question, is there any downside to me now signing up for Part A? So he's not going to sign up for Part B, but he wants to know, just kind of like Ragu, is there any downside for him signing up for Part A? Any substantial benefit? Again, while our health plan has an HSA, this is my wife's HSA, and thus I am not the contributing employee, though I use the funds in the account. Thanks for your help, and I love your book. What a guy. I like this guy. So I answered, thanks for writing, sir. I only wish it were more convenient, or I only wish I were more conversant with this area of tax law. Let me start that again. Thank you for writing. I only wish I were more conversant with this area of tax law. Without hearing an opinion from a tax expert, I would urge caution about enrolling in any part of Medicare. One of my thoughts is that you might be filing a joint return and that even the non-participating spouse can cause negative consequences. It would clearly be a mistake to have your wife enroll in any part of Medicare, and I would worry that your doing the same might have the same negative consequence unless you file separately. The advantage to enrolling in Part A before you really need it is to get on the radar screen at the Social Security Administration so that your subsequent enrollment in Part B will go a little more smoothly. I don't think this advantage outweighs the risk of losing deductibility and paying a penalty while your wife is still covered by the HSA. If you uncover information that contradicts this, I would like to learn more. But once again, thank you for reaching out. And then I said, by the way, thank you very much for the kind words about my book. Nothing makes an author's day like seeing a short customer review on Amazon. Thanks for your consideration. So I'd like to think that he's going to go and leave a customer review on Amazon. Don't know for sure if that'll happen, but it's always my fervent wish. And so what else do we have here? We have somebody who filled out a questionnaire on the MedicareForTheLazyMan.com. We are basically trying to revise that part of the website to make it a little more user-friendly, but the grandmother in charge of that is busy right now, so we're not going to be seeing many changes on the website for a while, I'm guessing. So anyway, this in the questionnaire I put on the website, I always ask for comments or questions because I'd like to hear the details about people's situations. And this person said, I am eligible to be on my husband's employer group plan on May 1st, 2021, and am eligible for Medicare beginning July 1st, 2021. I need to decide which makes the best sense financially at this time. Obviously, I would still need to use the group plan from May 1st to July 1st if I decide to start on Medicare. So she needs to know which one to do. Stay on her husband's plan or enroll in Medicare. And, you know, obviously the corollary to that is to buy a Medicare supplement and a drug plan. So I said, thank you for writing. I can compile a list of what the monthly cost for your Medicare coverages would be, and you can then compare the total with the cost of staying on your husband's plan as a dependent. First thing to consider is that most participants have a monthly premium of $148.50 this year for Medicare Part B. The two highly rated companies that I have for Medicare supplement plans in your state are Mutual of Omaha for $37 and change, and United American for $28 per month. United American doesn't have a high public profile, but I have no qualms about recommending them as a company due to their dedication to great customer service and rate stability. Since they look like a clear winner for you, I have attached a United American brochure. Then I said, if you choose to enroll in Medicare, you would also want to have a prescription drug plan in order to avoid the late enrollment penalty. If you currently take no prescription drugs, the best deal I can find would cost you just over $7 per month. Otherwise, there is a more complicated process using the government website to find the least expensive plan. If you would like me to perform that search for you, please fill out and return the attached one-page questionnaire. So far, you have $148.50 for Medicare Part B, $28 for the best priced Medicare supplement, a minimum of $730 for a prescription drug plan as the costs that I can help you predict. Finally, there is a choice of which coverage is better for you. Does your husband's plan have any bothersome or restrictive elements like an HMO network or the need to request permission to see a specialist? With Medicare, there is no network, so you can seek treatment from any doctor, specialist, or hospital that will accept Medicare patients for treatment. I hope this will help you with your decision process. If you would like to discuss this to a greater extent, I would be happy to have a telephone conversation with you at a time of your choice. And I thought she responded that it gave her quite a bit to think about. I think she did actually tell me, thanks a lot for giving me food for thought. Now I have to actually do the thinking part. So that is that little correspondence hasn't come to a resolution yet. How are we doing time-wise?
We're out.
Okay. Ever since you stomped all over the crickets, I'm just, frankly, I've lost track of time. I should get a big clock and put it in front of me.
I'm trying to be more inobtrusive. I decided jumping in the middle of, certainly jumping in the middle of a mailbag item with crickets was
That's
rude.
Just going to irritate
so I
your
decided
drinking buddies down at the chip.
That's right. It's going to irritate my drinking buddy big time. So in lieu of doing that, yes, we are out of time, but I wanted to ask you before we sign off for today, if it was okay if I offer a big sale in honor of Nora and Asher.
A big sale? You're going to give away? See, when somebody says sale, it just makes me want to choke. I don't want to give away anything.
It really choked you up.
I'm flummoxed. But here's the deal. What did you have in mind? I know there's more detail there.
I decided, with your approval, that we would offer from Amazon.com 6 books
for the price of
6. For the price of 6.
That's a fantastic idea. This is
you really those of you grandparents out in the world, because I know most of you are there or getting there or been there or done it or something. You really need to think about buying these books, for the kids as they are born.
They won't be kids forever. It's kind of like buying life insurance. It's a gift that lasts forever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would highly suggest you get several and, give them to your grandkids, your great grandkids, whatever you got there. And then if that doesn't, suffice, go out and get one of I was going to say the audio version, but there isn't any of those
yet. We're trying every day.
Go out and get the electronic version
every day.
And you can have, there's actually electronic readers. You could set the reader loose on the 2021 version and lay it in their crib and they can put it to they can listen to it as they go to sleep.
It won't exactly be the same voice that the audiobook will have when it eventually is put on sale, but it'll be close. It'll be some kind of robot machine voice, I'm guessing.
Yes. Then it might scare them for, the first couple nights, but just keep at it.
Well, remember the bad thing that happened with the Alaskan Bush people, that TV show where the oldest kid had a speech impediment, and he helped teach all the younger kids how to talk. So now they all have a speech impediment. They all talk.
That's oddly. A problem.
Yeah, it was. So you don't want little Asher and little Nora or other people's grandchildren talking like robots, do we? That's the only flaw that I see in your plan.
No, I really need to reconsider that whole that whole deal.
Right.
But you don't need to reconsider buying the book. Go out and get several, because you have just spent about 32 and a half minutes with Doug Jones, the insurance guy from Oklahoma. And is it a great uncle to Nora?
Yes, that's right.
You're a great uncle. I knew you were a great uncle.
Well, I'm proud to be Nora's great uncle, and I'm proud to be the adopted great uncle of Asher. So
that's right. That's
working
right.
out well on both sides.
Sounds good. So anyway, people, we have thoroughly enjoyed being with you today. We'll look forward to seeing you all again next time. But in the meantime, get your book, wait for your recorded version. We're still working on it. And I am going to turn it over for a final word to Mr. Jones.
The final word is sayonara.